So Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian broke up, aka the internet's most predicted relationship end. I mean, with Kim K just coming out of a serious years-long marriage and Davidson's track record with famous women, it's almost as though the internet was just waiting for them to split. But did Davidson's antics have more of a part to play in this breakup than one would assume? Let's talk about Pete Davidson's cringiest moments. Sitting at number 7, the open mouth incident. As a comedian, you really have no choice but to be a little cringe, a laughingstock. Hell, sometimes you openly invite criticism and judgment upon yourself for the sake of entertainment, and Pete Davidson, with his multiple comedy specials streaming online, is no different. This one incident, however, is more unintentional in nature. Also, a bit gross if we're being honest. Now, we all know that chewing with your mouth open is not just disrespectful to people around you, but also a disgusting thing to witness. But alas, we're made to witness this horrifying habit thanks to Pete way back in 2018 at the Video Music Awards. This was also around the time that Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande were engaged. Anyone remember that? Anyway, when Ari walked up the stage to receive her award for the Best Pop Music Video, the camera understandably zoomed in on her fiancé at the time, who could be seen chewing a piece of gum with reckless abandonment. Yes, it was open-mouthed city in there, and no one was safe. And you'd think that particular incident would sober him up to some shame. But nope. Moments later, when Grande was giving her speech, the camera showed him still going at it. Now, we hope this was a one-off, but this just makes us wonder if Davidson's gum-chewing habits extend to his eating manner. Now at number 6, the dreadful comment. Now, this next incident can't even be categorized as cringe. Well, it can, but it's weirder than it is anything else. We mean, it really makes you wonder what was going on in his mind when he did the act. Insensitive? Also very probably. You see, this interaction also takes place when Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson were the hot couple of the season. 4 years into losing her grandfather, Grande posted a sweet picture of the two of them together with an equally sweet caption chronicling how much she missed him and loved him. Here's where Davidson enters with his absurd sense of humor, if you could call it that. Below the heartwarming black and white image of the two on Instagram, Davidson decided his input was worthy of being added. He weirdly commented, "OMG, what a cutie," which, first and foremost, let's break down a bit. What, one wonders, could have compelled him to comment something so casually weird below his partner's post honoring her late grandfather? Beats us. It was straight up insensitive, and a bunch of people called him out for focusing on how cute his GF was on a somber post. Clearly not meant for that. Some wondered if the comment was aimed at her grandfather, which would also be a bit weird, not gonna lie. And now at number 5, potentially upsetting dad jokes. Now, some daddy issues jokes are just off limits no matter who you are, especially when they have to do with someone else's dad, not your own. Such was the cringy and borderline offensive joke that Pete Davidson made about Justin Bieber. Now, Justin Bieber's father, Jeremy Bieber, isn't exactly known for being an upstanding dad. If anything, he's actually been known to be one of the worst dads in the music industry, though multiple men do have him beat. Even so, from legal troubles to abandonment, there's not much Jeremy hasn't put Justin through. What all those events didn't do, however, was give Davidson the right to crack a deeply insensitive joke at the expense of both their fathers in front of a confused audience. Pete's punchline came down to being happy that he grew up with a dead dad, because Justin's father was just so awful it made him grateful that he didn't have one growing up. Yeah, that was the joke that drew hesitant laughter and outright gasps from the audience. As viewers, it makes us feel incredible secondhand embarrassment watching the crowd go quiet like that, not even if it was pre-approved or whatever. Putting the audience in that position is cringe as hell. Sitting at number 4, another insensitive joke. It might be a pattern. Now, we don't know about you, but there are many comedians who are legitimately funny without being wholly embarrassing and offensive. Unfortunately for this video and supposedly Kim K though, Pete Davidson just isn't one of them. Back in 2012, you see, a Category 3 storm titled Hurricane Sandy caused the deaths of 24 residents in Staten Island. When it first hit, hundreds of locals lost their homes and businesses, and it was all in all pretty devastating. You'd assume something associated with so much tragedy would definitely not be joke material. But apparently, Davidson didn't get the memo. You see, back in 2016, Pete, who was raised in Staten Island, took a jab at the area and the incident as a whole. He joked that Sandy should have just finished the job when it landed in Staten Island. And can you guess who didn't find it funny? Most people, that's who. And if that wasn't cringe enough, mocking an actual tragedy, Davidson stood by the joke on the grounds that he was raised there, and that Staten Island itself should share some of the blame, since it was a pretty Staten Island thing to say. Now at number 3, the Manchester bombing joke. Yes, this one goes beyond the realms of cringe and into horrible person territory. We all remember the tragedy that befell Ariana Grande's May 2017 concert back in Manchester, England. It took 23 lives and left hundreds injured, a fact made even sadder by the fact that most, if not all of these people, were teenagers. Grande commented that she was broken after the incident, a sentiment shared in her caption, "From the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry. I don't have words." Davidson, who was dating Ariana at the time, also had thoughts to share, ones that weren't nearly as empathetic as Grande's. In the fall of the same year, the Mirror reported that the comedian joked about how Ariana must have realized how famous she was after the attack because Britney Spears didn't have a terrorist attack at her concert. And wow, what a thing to say. Grande revealed that she didn't care much for what he said. She said that he uses comedy to help people feel better about how messed up things in this world are. Grande tweeted in July of 2018. She said that everyone deals with trauma differently. So while obviously she didn't find the joke funny, she knew that his intention with it was never malicious. Now, when did he buy the engagement ring? Now, this is certainly an interesting one. Greg Una, who was the celebrity jeweler that sold Pete Grande's $93,000 engagement ring, revealed that Pete reached out to him in May of 2018 asking for what he wanted. Now, the timing is interesting since Pete Davidson and his ex, Cassie David, split up the same month, on May 16th in fact. Una revealed that Davidson didn't tell him who the ring was for, which, first of all, there are confusingly shady details all over this crime scene. Secondly, Ariana and Pete announced their engagement in June, which is not a lot of time between one relationship ending, the other beginning, and getting ready for marriage, is all we're saying. These details come out in the light thanks to Una. Definitely makes the entire ordeal much more cringe. And now at number 1, birth control pills or TikTok. It's weird that so many of these incidents about Pete being cringe are in some way associated with his ex, Ariana Grande, but it stands to reason that his relationship with her certainly was in the spotlight for long enough to make people see beneath the cracks. And boy, was it easy to look beneath them. You see, this particular incident is cringe enough to make you mad. And who knows, maybe the thought process behind it could have been the reason Kim K and Pete did not work out. Back when the two were dating, Ari and Pete Pete made a joke about switching her birth control pills with TikToks. And if you think context would make it less pathetic a joke, you might be wrong. On SNL's popular Weekend Update segment with Colin Jost and Michael Che, the two started discussing Grande's fame and wealth. This is where Davidson admitted to Grande being the breadwinner in their relationship. He claimed that he lived at her place, the rent for which is like $60,000 and only stocks up the fridge. And Jost responded that a dude doesn't always have to be the breadwinner in a relationship. Davidson responded with "goddamn right." He joked that the night before, he switched out her birth control with TikToks to make sure that she can't go anywhere. You can just imagine how that went over with viewers. And that's all for this video. What do you think about Kim K and Pete Davidson's split? Do you think Pete's cringe history has anything to do with it? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to leave a like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications by pressing the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And we will see you next time. Thank you for watching.